Hi everyone, it's great to see you. I'm Lorna and we're reading Flat Stanley, The Great Egyptian Grave Robbery, written by Ace Pennypacker and created by Jeff Brown. And this is Chapter 8, The Hieroglyph. Sir Hawara's crew rushed into the Pharaoh's tomb, nearly knocking Stanley over in their excitement. From the passageway, Stanley could hear them exclaim over the treasures. Sir Hawara ordered them to start stripping the tomb. "If it's gold, take all you can hold," he chortled. "Take everything you can carry. This guy's been dead for 4,000 years. He won't miss anything. Follow the hieroglyphs and start loading the plane." It was time. Stanley extinguished his torch and covered himself all over with soot. He whispered Sir Hawara's chilling words to himself. "We'll just leave him to rot with the mummies for eternity," and felt himself break out into goose discs. He felt a cold sweat grow over them, and then he leaped up to the wall and froze there, stuck. Sir Hawara's crew ran out of the tomb, loaded with treasures. Sir Hawara shone his flashlight along the walls of the passageway. His beam fell upon Stanley. "There's one," he called. "Funny-looking thing, but it's just like the flat kid said. It's pointing the way. Come on." He and his men rushed off in the wrong direction. Stanley slipped down from the wall and made his way to the exit. As he stepped outside, he was delighted to see Amici and her father waiting. "We've brought the police just as you asked," Amici said. "But what's all this about?" "Go in there," Stanley directed the police officers. "I think you'll find this pyramid is loaded with looting looters, loaded with loot." And that is exactly what they did find. After a few moments, the officers began to come out of the pyramid with Sir Hawara and his henchmen and the stolen artefacts. "Caught red-handed at last," Amici and her father cried. Stanley was especially happy to see Sir Hawara in handcuffs. There would be no more hand-clapping from him for a while. Soon there was a big crowd around Stanley. So smart, so brave, so flat. People marvelled when they found out the story. In the middle of the commotion, Amici gave Stanley a hug. "I was wrong when I said I was wrong about you," she said. Stanley felt himself blush bright red. He wondered how he hadn't noticed it before. Amici was very pretty. Amici's father came over and took a picture of the two of them with his instant camera. He gave the picture to Stanley and then shook Stanley's hand. "You've captured Egypt's worst looter and saved the priceless giant scrolls of papyrus. Egypt's debt to you is enormous. How can we ever repay you? Say the word. Whatever reward you'd like is yours." Before Stanley could answer, the little celebration was disturbed by a group of tourists. They were laughing and pointing at Stanley's camel. "Look at the shape of that animal, Marge," cried one man. "Absolutely ridiculous." Stanley knew too well how it felt to be laughed at because of one's shape. "Hey," he called back, patting his camel. "We don't get to choose what we look like." Stanley could almost hear his mother's voice. "Hay is for horses, not people," she would remind him if she were there. She was always one for proper language, or if she really were here in Egypt, she would probably say hay is for camels. She was also one to appreciate her surroundings. Suddenly, Stanley missed his family again, even more than the night before. "Could you please just mail me back to America?" he asked. "Certainly," Amici's father replied. "Let's go inside and get you wrapped up right now." The words made Stanley remember something. "Just one more thing," he said, and then he asked Amici and her father for a favour. Join me for Chapter 9.